There are some footballers you just don't want to mess with. From taking out opponents to getting revenge on the ultimate stage, these are the footballers who messed with the wrong opponents. And first up, Thierry Henry paid the ultimate price for riling up the GOAT. 2005, Arsenal vs Manchester United, and it was all set to be an epic. See, minutes before the end of the first half, Arsenal had a 2-1 lead when Henry and Ronaldo got involved in a situation. I see what Henry did there. He acted like Ronaldo was invisible to him, and even aired CR7 when he was just trying to talk. Now, Ronaldo was pretty pissed, and seeing what Henry did to him like that charged him up. And in the second half, my boy turned the game on its head. Now, Henry's got no choice, of course. He'd be going to see him. I bet Ronaldo would have had a decent game until Henry stirred up the beast in him, just like Joshua Kimmich did to Mané after he challenged him to a duel face-on. In 2019, Liverpool and Bayern Munich faced off in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16. And with away goals still being a thing, and Liverpool playing at home, the Reds knew they had to put in a game, or Bayern would cook them hard. But the thing is, the Bayern defense had already mastered Liverpool's attack, so they went in man for man, and Joshua Kimmich was determined to get the better of Mané. So after pulling off a ditch tackle in the Liverpool box, he did this. Mané's laugh? My man was about to cook. Now, Mané's revenge plan was on another level. He wanted to make sure he got back at Kimmich and his team on their own turf, in front of their family and friends. So when the second leg rolled around in Bayern's Allianz Arena, Mané made sure it was game over. A brace! Kimmich couldn't say anything. If I'm being honest, some guys just live for these moments. Dudes like Kimmich or this guy, Neil Maupay. Maupay has to be the biggest house in the game right now, and the Spurs team got to witness that firsthand. He was repping Brentford when they faced Spurs away from home in the league, and Maupay had a plan to get under the Spurs' players' skin. So as soon as he opened the scoring, he set the game on fire. No way! No freaking way! See guys, the celebration Maupay pulled off was James Maddison's trademark move, and everyone knows that. Right after Maupay hit this, the Spurs team went on another level, and every time they scored, they made sure to remind Maupay who the real darts OG is. Stick to your own move. Told you Maupay lives for these moments, but at this point, looking at it again, it kind of feels like doing the Matters darts charges the Spurs team into overdrive. Brentford here, and before that, the North London Derby. Anytime Spurs and Arsenal meet, it's always chaotic, and the first derby of this season was no exception. Apart from being derby rivals, Spurs' James Maddison and Arsenal's Bukayo Saka are close teammates on international level with England. But I guess Saka was in no mood to keep a friendship for this particular game. In fact, he was going all out to troll his buddy. No man, he hit the Matters darts goal move! Remember what I said about Spurs going into overdrive anytime anyone tries this against them? I wasn't kidding, because it wasn't even up to 5 minutes when Maddison himself got in on the action and showed who's boss. That's his move, and he owned it. Crazy thing is, it isn't just the players who've charged up the wrong opponents in the game. Some coaches get so obsessed that they do the trolling themselves and get burned too, like Rafael Benitez. Benitez was coach of Liverpool in 2007, when they were all set to take on Chelsea in the Champions League. Now, days before the game, Benitez held a press conference and used that as an opportunity to hit out at Chelsea's biggest star. With Drogba, it's important to have a good referee. You can't do anything to stop him going down easily. It's very impressive. I have lots of clips from him over the years, and he surprises me. He accused Didier Drogba of being a diver. Big mistake. Drogba listened to the press conference too, and he came into this one in full beast mode. and after slamming a pile driver hard into the net, he found Benitez and hit the ultimate savage on him. King of the knee slides, and now king of the clutch replies too. That celebration was cold. But guys, when it comes to coaches trying to get into players' heads and falling off hard, I don't think anyone comes close to this guy, Diego Simeone. 2019, Simeone's Atleti team was facing Juventus in the Champions League round of 16. And this one must have kept Simeone up all night, because he knew he'd be going up against CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. Still, Atleti managed to win the first leg 2-0, and Simeone got so excited that during one of his celebrations, he mocked Ronaldo and his team. No balls? Game on! Ronaldo was up for the challenge, and in the second leg, Ronaldo put on a show and made sure Simeone didn't leave without getting his part too. GOAT moves! Back to the players now, and 1 year after the Ronaldo and Simeone episode, Erling Haaland had burst into the scene and was trying to show everyone that goals weren't the only thing up his sleeves. He was a pretty hard troll too, until it backfired crazy hard. Haaland had just moved to Borussia Dortmund from Salzburg, and in his first Champions League match for his new club, he bagged a brace to give Dortmund a 2-1 lead. That should have been it, but after the game, Haaland wanted to make a statement too, so he went on his socials and dropped a ticking time bomb. His city? No way! Now, the catch for this one was so crazy that it was even enough to pull Neymar on it. See, for everyone who doesn't know, Neymar almost always mysteriously gets injured around this time of the year. But after seeing the stuff Haaland said about his team, Neymar made sure he stayed fully fit. And in the second leg, he put on a show, helped his team knock Haaland and Dortmund out, and together, they went hard on Haaland. Heck, they even used his celebration to get back at him. Neymar and his guys waited till the second leg to show Haaland who's boss. But for Mohamed Salah, soon as this opponent began pissing him off, he immediately embarrassed him on live TV. Salah's Liverpool team was facing Manchester United in the Northwest Derby, and United's new defender, Lisandro Martinez, was getting so much hype, some fans even went as far as saying he was going to pocket Salah all game. Guess the hype must have gotten to Martinez's head too, because minutes into the game, and he went super hard on Salah. You shouldn't have done that, bro, because as soon as Salah realized Martinez was out to get him, he hit another gear and had the dude on roller skates. Nah, Salah switched off Martinez's console controller, because that dribble was straight up nasty. Watching this one again, Salah falls into my new list of wingers I don't want to mess with, just like Angel Di Maria. For those who didn't know, Di Maria used to play for Manchester United after moving to England in 2015. But he only lasted 6 months, complained about the weather, and was off to Paris to join PSG. Fast forward 4 years later to 2019, and Di Maria was back on United turf again, this time with his PSG team to take on United. And the home crowd wasn't having it. They booed him all through. It should have ended with the home crowd, but one of Di Maria's ex-teammate, Ashley Young, probably still hadn't forgiven him for leaving like that. So when they got up close near the touchline, he went at him. Nah, there was no disguising that. Young had issues with Di Maria. Still, that was something Young would end up regretting, because this push only seemed to spark Di Maria into life, and minutes later, he dropped both assists for PSG's goals versus United. Savage. But hey, at least Young wasn't trying to prove his way to start a world war like the Dutch did against Argentina. The 2022 World Cup quarterfinals, and Argentina and Messi were just minding their business, trying to prep for the big game, when the Dutch coach Louis van Gaal came out to provoke them. He accused the team of always trying to pass to Messi. And worse, during the game, the Dutch players were all up in the Argentine faces, and even turned Van Dijk into a WWE character. Shoulder barge on Otamendi! The game went into penalties, and after all the heavy tackles they'd taken from the Dutch, soon as they won the game, they went rogue. Peak celebrations! They weren't even trying to hide it, just like I'm not trying to hide the fact that if you haven't subscribed to Goal Zone yet, you're missing out on the best content on YouTube.